The Black Panther Society is a radical organization that promoted the equality of Black people. It was founded by two young men, Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton. Bobby Seale was able to attend college through his affiliation with the Air Force, and while in college, he heard Malcolm X speak, and that helped inspire his radicalism. Huey P. Newton was a troubled kid who had been suspended several times throughout his life and also had several run-ins with the law. He was inspired by his older brother, who was able to attend college, and because of this inspiration, he pursued his education and was able to graduate high school. From that, he went to college, and it was in college that he first met his partner, Bobby Seale. Both were inspired by the brutal death of Malcolm X and a police shooting that resulted in the death of a young black child, and the two men decided to make a difference and started the Black Panther Society. When it comes to the goals of the Black Panther Society, it evolved throughout their existence. The party's original actions were more focused on protecting Black individuals against police brutality. Examples being they would patrol communities and defend whoever they can from corrupt cops. This eventually evolved into the voicing of more radical agendas like the arming of all African Americans, the release of Blacks from jails, and the financial compensation for the years of slavery faced by their ancestors. They also had a 10-point program that mostly asked for basic human rights, including education that taught them their actual history, but it also had a few more radical ideas in there, like the freeing of all Black people from prison and the exemption of Blacks from the draft. The party also very violently fought against police, and the police also tried shutting them up several times. They arrested many protesters and beat them, including the leader, Huey Newton. Another villain was an FBI agent that was adamant about destroying the party, and he ended up being successful. The Black Panther Society was one of the few Black Power movements that used violence to try and get their points across, and I feel like this impeded their success because they were not able to get any representation in the government, and police brutality rates still remained pretty high. I think this was because no one took them seriously and just saw them more as a bunch of delinquents. But they did have a couple of good things. They were able to increase morale amongst their people, and that helped other movements succeed. If I had to ask one question to the leaders, I would ask them if they thought that the violent means of protest were appropriate or if they regret protesting that way.